This one. Yes. I guess, folks, welcome back. Another episode of Tuesday After Show. Episode number 20. So let's see, we got 21 next week. Sometimes I do Pro Bowl, sometimes I don't. It might be 20. It'll be 22 or 23 episodes this year. Of course, though, this also be done on Monday games are over with. Except this Monday, I have a special edition. For Tuesday, tomorrow, I was doing college football. Want to just talk about college football, transfer portal, y'all get U of M stuff and stuff I probably talked about in previous podcasts about that. But more than welcome to tune in tomorrow. I don't know what time exactly shoot it live, but it'll definitely be up somewhere before this late in the day, probably tomorrow. Uh, so let's do it. Let's get down to business here. So I get ran on for a minute here. Okay, football games over the weekend. We're gonna pop back the Saturday game. What was that game? Doggone. I'm thinking about the rest of the New England and all that. No, we're gonna go back to the. See, lost track of the games here. I'm trying to see if I can do this off my memory. I guess they don't work. Well, let's talk about Denver Buffalo. And to make it so bad about that game, I know everybody thought that pass play was uh I know the first pass interference in overtime. We're gonna skip through all that. Well, we'll talk about one other thing. Uh McDermott got fired as coach today. And it's like, is it really his fault? I mean, True Damn won in all these years at this point. I get it. I get it. He hasn't won all these years at this point. I get it. I get it. I get it. But it's hard to happen when your quarterback will turn the ball over 4 times, right? General manager, get this guy a wide receiver he can actually throw to. You need one guy who can go get it guy. Every team has to have that guy, whether it be a 6'5" tight end, somebody. Supposed to be Keon Coleman from Michigan State. No hands, man. He has no hands. I don't know who was coaching Michigan State. Oh, Bill Tucker, wasn't this coach in college? Yeah, that's really Sparty fans out there. I threw a little shade at you. But but I'm just saying is you get Josh Allen, who probably, if he had Detroit's offense, Detroit wouldn't even have needed defense. We'd won away the Super Bowl. Hey, now they were talking about on WGFN possible trades where I trade Jared Goff for. Yeah, Josh Allen might be that guy. That may be the one guy I would give up Jared Goff for. Because he actually can throw passes and he can take off and run. And he does both very well at the same time. And he can get you the tough yard, the fast yard, and the down the field bomb. What else do you need? We would have survived this year without Laporta. Because now Josh Allen can make those plays late. Can you imagine Gibbs in his offense? Like read options and reverse plays and trick. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? But like I said again, McDermott gets fired from Buffalo, the coach. Been there quite a long time. And I understand they didn't make that last step, but doggone it, it's not his fault. I think Jim should have been gone personally. You got to get the guy, you got to give Josh Allen a wide receiver somewhere. You have to be able to make, well, I can't say they didn't make all defensive stops. Heck, 5 turnovers that game, but basically both were still hung in that game without getting destroyed. I give them mad props. In Denver, it's not them. It's not the coach. It is not the coach. I'll say it again. I don't even blame Josh Nerve. It just took him too long to win. And that's all that's the case of. This year, this might be just accumulation of years, but as far as this year, this was not his fault. Other stuff. Let's go to the other game. The NFC game from Saturday. Seattle and San Francisco. And Uncle, you know which one Uncle I'm talking about. If you're watching it, your boys just didn't have no dang on chance. They're just outgunned and done. I mean, when you got you was like same thing. Same on Lions. Laporta gone. They had the Kittle's gone. You know, it's interesting. They both went to the same college, Iowa. Tight end U. Make note of that. But Kittles and bits. He was nothing, but the Cavs gonna have nothing left but bits on the offense. They just couldn't get it, and they had no run defense at all, and you had no pass rush. Now you turn making the very few passes that would have been thrown that game basically by Mr. Darnold. He's able to sit back there and chill because now you got no pass rush and they can't stop the run. What you gonna do? That's how blowout city. I'm gonna go back to the next game from the other day, from yesterday, Houston, New England. I thought he's gonna win that game. I was looking at Houston being like the perfect 2000 Ravens. Maybe not the middle linebacker, but as far as the overall defense, they had a good pass rush, and man, they had ball hawk defense. Rather, they turned the ball over. They actually held New England at B for quite a long time. But CJ Stroud, I can't figure out why he has such a hard time throwing the ball outside. But somebody explain that one to me because it doesn't make sense. I mean, he been playing outside since he's been at Ohio State. You get me an outside quarterback that suddenly can't make a pass outdoors. I know they've been playing mostly don't see him pro, but still, there's just no way in the world I could say excuse that. I mean, really, it's just terrible. He played terrible. He looked worse than he did when Michigan beat him both times. Hutchinson was standing over him sacking him his last 2 years in college. Once again, I digress again. But I get them deserve to be there. They'll probably be in the Super Bowl now because we go back to that Denver game as a reference point. What's the name is out? What's the name is out? Bo Nix. He hurt you. He got an ankle injury second last play game. I didn't see him live on the field nothing. That's very interesting. That's like the most mysterious ankle injury ever seen happen in a playoff game. In fact, will not be in the AFC Championship game. Folks, it's gonna be getting kind of fun out there. It is. It is. It is gonna get fun out there. Because New England gonna have fun in Denver. The backup quarterback is barely seen the field like the last forever. Forever. I just him. I think the guy name. Oh boy. You're gonna put a backup quarterback barely seen the field in a championship game. Wish you will that one, Denver. Hope you at least stay halfway in the game for at least a quarter. Next thought. Last thoughts about the last game. The Bears and the Rams. Like the 85 Bears, and we all started at, but it ended there. And yes, and you're gonna call me a hater and definitely a homer on this one, but I don't care today. I am so glad that they lost, because doggone it, Detroit beat them twice this year. You think they really a playoff team? Caleb Williams is probably has the worst completion percentage of any quarterback in the playoffs. The worst completion percentage. Hear me on worst completion percentage. He doesn't even complete 6% of the game with passes of either playoff game. You thought y'all going to the Super Bowl because he made these magical plays. Yeah, I'll give him props on that last second play. He got hit. He was surrounded by 4 people. Threw it up. Somehow the guy made the catch. DB supposed to stay behind him and make him and fall behind for the catch. It might have been interesting. We'll see if they were going PI. I think it'd have been a jump ball situation. It was 2 guys back there. Y'all just lost track. I don't know how y'all lose track with that. I don't know. Now that catch by Devontae Evans, I know we're going to compare that to the Buffalo-Denver game. 2 different situations. We talk one situation, guys in the air lands on his back and then runs both guys runs to the ball. The other game, the guy clear had the ball first. He makes a 2 football step moves, go to the ground, knees down, play over with. He had control long enough. It just doesn't play. It wasn't incomplete. That's Chicago game. The Buffalo-Denver game situation, the guy tenderly took the ball right on top of his back. Now, I don't know how that would have played out in college football. I had to check the rules in case something like that happens tonight in the game. Trust me, I will be talking about it. But I think pretty much the NFL is going to take care of business. And boy, would Bob Knight be around and enjoy this right now if he was here to watch this game tonight. But my thoughts on the next week, listen here. New England in the Super Bowl, easy one. Rams Seahawks, tough one here. Yeah, if you can get to Seattle a little bit of shootout, I think staring down makes a big mistake. So I got Rams New England rematch from for so many years ago, right? From the what's my man name? Oh my goodness, we quarterback names. Well, from the Tom Brady era. But I remember, oh my goodness, I forgot my man quarterback from the Rams all of a sudden. Wow, that's bad. I'll probably remember not get off here, but Rams New England matchup. Rams win the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford wins the MVP. He right off the sunset. That's my thoughts on it. Anybody got any counter thoughts to that? Let me know. But that's how I'm doing it now. It's over. The Rams win again. We get to watch Stafford hold another trophy. Fine, but we'll still get the better of that trade. That's it. Bye.